What is going on, my future crypto millionaires? Today is Monday, October 8th, 2018. As you can see from these few articles I have pulled up, that's what we're going to be discussing today. A lot of great stuff. And as always, a brief reminder. If you didn't catch my last video, I want to kind of turn the direction of this channel into a mid to long outlook on cryptocurrency. And with that being said, I'm not as concerned about the day-to-day price movements, but it is important to recognize that we're still seeing that decreased volatility, increased stability in this market, and potentially this could be the beginning of a stable trajectory to newer highs. And that could, that could manifest in a plethora of so many different ways. There are so many different possibilities how that could happen. Huge breaks up and huge breaks down along the way, but the overall trend essentially being, and I'll just illustrate it, potentially something like that. Again, that is not at all what I'm saying is going to happen. However, if you did catch my last video, I do believe that that would be the healthiest pattern that could present itself on these charts here. And a lot of the news that we're going to get into today kind of has to do with that. And again, guys, I just want to congratulate everybody here, everybody in this space. I truly believe this. And I'm going to kind of, try and take this tone more in my videos just because it's something I'm very passionate about and it's something I truly believe. And the essence of it is that the people that are involved into cryptocurrency right now, the people that are interested, not necessarily even buying or holding, but at least people watching the markets and aware of cryptocurrency, getting ready to make a move into the markets, or at least spreading the idea about cryptocurrency at your workplace, with your family. Spreading what you know, sharing this with people is essentially how this movement started, and it's how it's going to continue to grow as well. In my last video, I talked a lot about institutional interest and that huge shift that's happening. It is awesome to see happening in real time. You and I, you listening and myself right now, we're a part of this and we're experiencing it together. And good news, guys and gals, this thing, in my opinion, is going to explode. Now, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean tomorrow, I don't mean next week, I don't mean next month, although you never know. But when this thing takes off, it is going to take off. The adoption is going to happen like crazy. So if you are one of those very, very, very few select individuals of any age who happen to be interested in cryptocurrency, who happen to spend their time following cryptocurrency, and those people that are invested, kudos to you, because I think you are so ahead of the curve. I think you are recognizing an opportunity. Personally, my idea of success, one of the very key factors of success, is recognizing an opportunity. Recognizing an opportunity as early as possible, obviously, is the best thing to do. And yeah, I just want to congratulate everyone here for recognizing the opportunity in cryptocurrency. And have faith, guys. Have patience. We're all in this together. Again, I said this yesterday, or the other day when I made a video, the community is so small, and we should be supporting each other. Before we get into this article as well, I tweeted the other day about Roger and Charlie's debate. As always, I thought Charlie handled it magnificently. I thought he was a great example of a leader. And the thing is, guys, and I said this in a tweet as well, there's essentially everything Roger Ver has ever said I disagree with. I think he's a little angry at how the community might have treated him over the past 10 or so years, because he was a huge player involved in cryptocurrency. And to be quite honest, he is kind of making a huge mistake, in my opinion, by trying to trick people into thinking that Bitcoin Cash is legitimately Bitcoin. Whether or not that's even true, when you change the ticker from BCH to BTC, when you change those around and try and switch them out and confuse people, that's never good. That's never something you can stand by. The only thing I do want to say, though, is that Roger has helped this community from the very beginning. He has done way more for cryptocurrency than I've done, if I'm being honest. In that sense, we do have him to thank, and that just leads kind of into my point that cryptocurrency is such a small community. I don't like the idea of people making enemies out of each other. And I think the way Charlie approached it was very good. He kind of approached it in a way where, he was very respectful of Roger, even though Roger was kind of giving him a tough time, as Roger gives everyone. But I just want to say, in a sense, I do respect Roger. I obviously respect Charlie Lee, but there are certain things you have to respect about Roger, in my opinion, even though he has made many mistakes, and at this moment, he's probably making a mistake. My point is, it's a small community, guys. We all have so much opportunity right now, and we should all be thankful for each other in this community right now, because we're going places. 100% I believe that. We're gonna definitely take the world by storm, and the people invested are going to make money. They are going to have so much value added to their portfolios, guaranteed within the least next few years, in my opinion. That's how I view this. With all of the signs we are seeing, I have never been more sure and more confident. I'm sorry I'm rambling a little bit, but we're going to get into these articles, but I do want to share this. I got a lot of comments yesterday even, people saying like, hey, I hope this continues. I hope we kind of trade sideways or even go down for many more months so that I can accumulate more. And the more I hear that, the more and more I agree with it. If you would have asked me a few months ago, I would kind of disagree with that. You know, I was a moon boy, right? I wanted to strap in. I wanted to go to the moon. I wanted to strap in, get the strap on, get in there, and blast off to the moon, right? But the more you recognize and believe in this transition, this financial transition, really, to cryptocurrencies, the more you realize, you know, I do want it to go to the moon, but at the same time, this is an opportunity where you can continuously get yourself invested and buy even more of it and become even more set in the long run, financially, as well as, you know, there are other aspects. I do believe even just being knowledgeable about cryptocurrency will be beneficial in the future. There are going to be jobs, 100%, more and more jobs created because of cryptocurrency. Who knows how cryptocurrency will affect the entire ecosystem of the world? Who knows how it will affect things other than just finance? This is a huge, huge door that we're opening up. And again, I really love this idea. I'm probably coming off a little bit preachy, but I really love the idea of just reiterating how early on we still are. There is still so much opportunity. So this article first, after record high stability, is Bitcoin finally ready to bounce? So this article kind of just goes into the, obviously, I mean, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, you can see, you know, it's been a little bit stable. However, I would be very cautious about what this article is titled. It's titled that for a reason because it makes people want to click, but at the same time, be very cautious about this. I don't necessarily think we're going to see a huge bounce. I said this in my last video, or at least not right now. And again, like I said in my last video, I don't even think that necessarily would be the healthiest thing. But Mike McGlone, Bloomberg Intelligence commodity strategist, is quoted here saying, "This is a maturing market, so volatility should continue to decline. When you have a new market, it will be highly volatile until it establishes itself. There are more participants, more derivatives, more ways of trading, hedging, and arbitrage." Given the stability in the price of Bitcoin, technical price analyst Rampage stated that it's evident Bitcoin has found its bottom. Even if the volume of cryptocurrency falls below the $10 billion mark, he explained it's difficult to see Bitcoin dropping below its current levels. And we've seen other people come out and kind of say that exact same thing, that they believe we have found the bottom. Guys, this is strictly my opinion. I want to say that I'm not 100% confident that we have found the bottom. And there's no way that you can predict these things. There's no way that you can say for certain. I do think it's very possible that we've seen the bottom, but I don't necessarily, you know, I wouldn't bet against it, right? I'm not betting against it. My point is, the reason I'm covering this is because I want everybody watching to be as careful as possible, because you never know. You could wake up and you could see a $4,500 Bitcoin next week. And then 2 months down the road, you could see a $15,000 Bitcoin. My point being, these articles usually cover people that are pretty substantial or pretty recognized and quote-unquote respected in the space. So people tend to value their opinion over other people's opinions. But one thing you can say for sure that's been happening over the last few weeks is that more and more people are coming out and saying that they believe 6K is the bottom. Be careful though. And very similar to that, CNBC's Rand Neuner says Bitcoin is about to explode pending the ETF decision. Again, guys, I want to approach this article as well as future articles with skepticism, but optimism as well. You know, I don't want to discount anything they say, but I also want to take it from a viewpoint where you kind of consider every option here and don't, essentially what I want to do is take a lot of the emotion out of it. So it says, crypto analyst and host of CNBC's show Crypto Trader Rand Neuner has claimed that the price of Bitcoin is about to explode in a recent tweet just yesterday. Neuner expressed his utmost confidence in an upcoming surge in Bitcoin's price by noting, "I just bought Bitcoin for my parents." In the same tweet, a notable rally would likely be tied to the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission's highly anticipated upcoming decision on several Bitcoin ETFs. The trader claimed in another tweet posted the same day. Explaining his optimistic prediction, the crypto analyst pointed to the fact that the leading cryptocurrency rally last year from about 6,600 to 2,000 was, according to him, on the back of expectation and launch of cash settlement Bitcoin futures contracts. That is factual. So there's some things I want to get into here that I disagree with, but there was a lot of anticipation from Bitcoin futures contracts last year, and honestly, I do believe that played a huge part in Bitcoin actually reaching 20,000 US dollars. That's factual, but what I want to say as well, Rand Neuner has made some predictions over the last few months, and he has been completely wrong. So don't expect a jump up to $20,000 this month. Don't expect it for November. However, always consider that possibility in your mind and make sure you're making decisions that you'd be happy with if that would happen. It goes on to just say about more SEC rejections recently, particularly from the Winklevoss twins and then others as well. But the one thing I can say is that Bitcoin is about to explode. I would change the title to Bitcoin is going to explode. So you can kind of take away any kind of date from that. If you say about, it kind of means it's somewhat soon. But Bitcoin is going to explode, I would say, is a much better title, because Bitcoin is going to explode. And the people watching these videos, I cannot stress enough, are going to be extremely happy in the future with their investments. They're going to be proud of themselves. They're going to be patting themselves on the back, rightfully so, for enduring this bear market, however long it may last. It could be another 2 months, it could be 2 years. But simply with all this institutional interest, all of the institutional shift and geared towards becoming more knowledgeable and incorporating cryptocurrency in one way or another is so bullish in my opinion. I did want to cover this as well. I don't necessarily like some of the points in this article. I don't necessarily think pot stocks have too much to do with Bitcoin. They kind of make some points that I don't really think are super valid in it. I wanted to touch on this because this is something that's it's a little less crypto related, but it's something that's really happening right now, and that is that recreational cannabis, marijuana, weed, is becoming legalized throughout the US. It is completely legal in Canada, right? They even passed something recently where like you can literally smoke marijuana anywhere that you can smoke a cigarette. So you don't even have to be in a coffee shop. You don't have to be in your own home. You can literally do it out in the open, which I don't necessarily know if that's the best idea. I am 100% for the medicinal use of cannabis. I don't necessarily think it's maybe the best idea to like have people smoking cannabis on the streets. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if you want to do it, you can probably just go to your house or something. It's not that big of a deal. But it's also a reflection of the changing times. And honestly, in one way or another, I think cryptocurrency is going to be more and more involved with this. As you all know, there are marijuana cryptocurrencies. There's like Potcoin and other things. This is geared towards actual stocks, not cryptocurrencies, and how much they are growing. It talks about just how quickly it soared. And this is just marijuana, guys. This is just cannabis. I think something similar is going to happen to cryptocurrency. I think it's going to blow up in a much bigger sense. I believe actually the marijuana stocks are actually kind of taking more of a downward turn right now after like a huge run up. Naturally, you can compare that even to what happened at the end of 2017 to now. Things need to correct after they blow up exponentially, such is the case with cryptocurrency and such is the case with pot. Such is the case as well with the tech bubble of the 90s. But in my opinion, for all three of those, they will all end up sky high. The first one there, we do actually have data that it did end up becoming insanely successful. Obviously, tech of the 90s and the internet, that was obviously the biggest success in terms of finance and investing probably ever. But I think cryptocurrency is going to do something much better than that. And when it comes to cannabis, I really do think that this future of cannabis becoming more and more legal, and I hope it's done safely as well. I think there's going to be a ton of profit involved in it, and I do think that it'll be a huge part of even maybe the next upcoming elections for both Democrats and Republicans. It's a very non-polarizing issue, and what I mean by that is that people don't get offended about weed anymore. More and more people want it to be legalized, and it has a lot of uses. A lot of medicinal uses as well, very good for seizures, and as well, there's been many studies proving that it's very good for treating brain cancer in particular. But that's going to sum up today's video, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming by, liking, and subscribing. Please let any comments or thoughts below. Again, guys, I'm super excited for the future of cryptocurrency. I hope you are too. All you need is patience, and you will be rewarded. I really would not be saying that if I didn't believe it. I believe there are so many great people in this space. I believe there are very, very, very intelligent people in this space, of all ages, of all genders, of all races, of all whatever demographic, everything. The people that are involved now, I have respect for because they recognize this opportunity. And when the next run comes, you know, we'll all be in it together and we'll all be excited and happy together. And most of the world will not be, because most of the world is not invested in cryptocurrency at this point.